remarks 65 years anniversary of Thai, Indonesia and Thailand. Your Excellency, do you think the soft power diplomacy, such as cultural and traditional show, can be enhanced or better in engagement or relationships?
Culture is always universal language of the people. And then also if we look back the relations between Thailand and Indonesia, centuries they came, it was starting from the cultural relations. And then the legacy of the cultural relations between the two countries still clearly can be seen now in many places of Thailand and Indonesia. From arts, music, food, and so on and so forth. This is a kind of cultural aspects that our two countries have very close connections from in the past and then still exist until now. Of course, we want to see these cultural relations continue to grow in the times to come because, as I say, it has become more relevant over time now since Indonesia and Thailand is going to enter as a one community in ASEAN integrations at the end of 2015, where one of the pillar of ASEAN is social cultural community. This is where exactly the cultural elements fit into that, the pillar. And then we are of course proud, Indonesia and Thailand, to share this cultural heritage with other friends, with ASEAN societies throughout the region.
So what, as you said, that next year is going to be how ASEAN and Thailand and Indonesia integrated into the ASEAN community. Is there any cooperation between Thailand and Indonesia that's going to contribute to that integration?
It is therefore, if I may repeat once again, that the cultural aspect that we are going to perform tonight is marking the celebration of 65th anniversary of bilateral relations between Indonesia and Thailand. And then I think we're going to continue to have this, whether we have this celebration or not. The cultural cooperation will continue, not only covering in art, not only covering in the music, but also in covering in much wider aspects such as education, media relations, and of course people-to-people contacts in many ways, including of course artists and civil society, because this is the stakeholders that closely active in cultural and art that can be a stronger bridge for our two people, especially the young generation, because we need to encourage the young generation to know each other, to learn each other cultures, because many of these young people, unfortunately, are missed a little bit about the history of the relation between the two countries. It's our duty, it is our responsibility to continue to educate our young generation that through cultures, the relation between the two countries can continue to grow and continue to progress in the times, especially when ASEAN becomes integrations, where Indonesia and Thailand play significant roles in these endeavors.
Yeah, I noticed that you said that throughout this year and maybe until June this year, there going to be several events.
Yes, there are some events that are going to have. One particular example is that our two countries now is in the process of translating two, books. One of them is in now. We're going to translate in now because it also have a kind of version in Indonesia and the Panji Sembilan also. And many others, 2 or 3 more books I think that literature that we're going to jointly translate both in Indonesian language and Thai language. Another one of course that we're going to celebrate as a part of our events, not only in culture but of course economic, trade, investment and tourism. Tourism of course have very closely interlinkages with culture. This is another one that we're going to promote both in Indonesia and Thailand. We know very well that the growing number of Indonesian people coming to Thailand to know more about Thailand, to enjoy more about the hospitality, cultures of Thailand. Likewise, Thai people starting to go down, also young people, to Indonesia, also to know more, to understand more about Indonesia, who are so diverse in terms of cultures. Not only that, the growing number of students, also exchange of students, coming from Indonesia to study in Thailand, and also from Thailand to study in Indonesia. So this is kind of activities that we're going to continue to have as a part of our celebration. Of course, just to mention a few programs, but this is, I think, the one that I can mention.
Last question, sir.
Yes.
This is quite a special occasion.
Right.
Is there a possibility that Mr. Jokowi can come to Thailand next year?
You know, Jokowi just resumed his presidency, just inaugurated about last month, and he has been occupied with many issues inside the country, how to put the economics in the very good shape. The second one has been traveling quite a while, attending several summits, starting from APEC summit in Beijing, and then moving to ASEAN summit, East Asia summit in Myanmar, and then go straight to G20 summit in Brisbane, Australia. So I believe that when the times, available, because he make it clear that the ASEAN still become one of our cornerstone of our foreign policy. I think it will be traveling. We don't know yet when, but this is one of the priority, I think, ASEAN, including of course Thailand, because we have been, a good friend for so long, and we will continue to do so in the times to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain Marcus. Thank you very much.